we're having more. It ain't over, folks. Voters getting purged off the voter rolls. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Because I saw this in New York, and now it seems to be happening in California. A, quote, computer glitch wiped out thousands of voters' party preference in the Bay Area. Interesting. They move up the California primary to be a Super Tuesday state. Last time, the California primary was one of the last states. And all of a sudden, in a state that literally, I believe, has the GDP, is the fifth largest economy in the world, there is a massive computer glitch that has purged 200,000 voters. If you're registered to vote in Contra Costa County, make sure to check your voter registration. In a press release sent out by the County Elections Division, voters were cautioned that during the 2018 rollout of the automatic voter registration system, some voters' party preference was overwritten. As such, individuals who registered with a party may have been swapped to no party preference. As of April 2018, any California resident, unless they opt out, is automatically registered to vote when they register a car or get a license for the Department of Motor Vehicles. Being listed as no party preference means would-be Democratic voters could have issues voting in the upcoming Democratic primary scheduled for March 3rd, 2020. Although no party preference voters are allowed to vote in the Democratic primaries, a vote by mail ballot must be specifically requested from the voters' county elections office. What a nightmare. The Republican Party does not allow no party preference voters to vote in the presidential primaries. Quote, we're hopeful that voters take the opportunity to look at their registration status now rather than after ballots are mailed on Election Day. NBC area reports the issue could have affected tens of thousands of registered voters. Pew reported in October that the DMV found over 100,000 registration errors from the automatic system, some of which were this party overriding issue. The claim is disputed by the California Secretary of State, Alex Padilla, who, by the way, interfered in the 2016 election to prop up Hillary Clinton, who issued a press release on Friday. Quote, despite recent claims, there is no widespread glitch with the California motor voter program changing voters' party affiliation. It is important to note that every registration at the DMV requires the voter to select their political party preference, review their selection, and attest to its accuracy. Since the launch of the motor voter program in April 2018, the Secretary of State's office has worked with the DMV to continuously improve the registration experience, blah, 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 blah. According to Padilla, quote, in nearly every case, there is a reasonable explanation for any change of a voter's registration record. You could check your voter registration status and political party preference on the California Secretary of State's website. So, first of all, I don't believe a damn word Alex Padilla says. In 2016, if you live in California, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. He was interfering. They were sending out incorrect mailers to voters to confuse them. They purged people off the rolls then, and apparently now they could call it a computer glitch. If you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, okay. It wasn't 200,000 voters, by the way. It seems tens of thousands of voters, but according to the DMV, 100,000. This could swing an election. What's incredible to me, these same states that had problems last time are now suddenly tens of thousands of people are getting purged off the rolls in San Francisco area and the Bay Area. San Francisco in particular, a lot of progressive voters there. San Francisco, one of the last vestiges of the 1960s. So, you tell me, are we supposed to think that we're not going to hear news of another computer glitch in New York? When we have these computer glitches Aren't the people that have been disenfranchised by these computer glitches, shouldn't they be immediately reinstated to their party preference? Shouldn't these people be contacted immediately so that they could be re-registered that same day with a visual computer email or some type of confirmation that they've been re-registered to the party that they were registered at? Or we have to now leave it after they have been tossed. We have to then say, oh, well, they have to get a vote by mail and all this stuff that most people won't even know that they need to do. It is absolutely ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. And it is literally the same playbook from 2016. How many times are we going to hear that there was some type of computer glitch before people wise up? And even if you want to say there's a computer glitch, okay, well, we're hysterical about the threat from Russia and cyber warfare, but when our own voters are being purged by our own government, when our own voters are being purged by people like Alex Padilla, a Hillary Clinton supporter, who I assume supports Joe Biden now, we're supposed to just say, oh, well, hopefully they get vote by mail ballots. And by the way, now it's happening in Wisconsin too. It's Democrats doing it. It's Republicans doing it. Judge orders 234,000 voters purged from the Wisconsin voter rolls. A Wisconsin judge on Friday ordered the state to remove hundreds of thousands of people from Wisconsin's voter rolls because they may have moved. The case is being closely watched because of the state's critical role in next year's presidential election. Ozaukee County Judge Paul Malloy also denied the League of Women Voters of Wisconsin's position to intervene. Lawyers for the League and for the Wisconsin Elections Commission indicated they will appeal and asked Malloy to stay his ruling pending those appeals, but he declined. At issue is a letter the State Elections Commission sent in October to about 234,000 voters who it believes may have moved. Oh, they believe they may have moved. The letter asked that voters to update their voter registration if they had moved or alert election officials if they were still at their same address. The commission planned to remove the letter's recipients from the voter rolls in 2021 if it hadn't heard from them. But Malloy's decision would kick them off the rolls much sooner, as well before the 2020 presidential election. Before Friday's hearing, Democratic State Attorney General Josh Cowell said in an interview that quickly removing viewers from the rolls would cause, quote, clear harm to Wisconsin voters. That's because some people who haven't moved would likely lose their ability to vote, at least for the time being. Quote, anytime people have to go through extra steps to vote, and certainly re-registering is a significant additional step, the result is that fewer people end up voting. Fewer people will be registered. A number of people will have to re-register. 3 voters sued the commission last month with the help of the conservative Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty. They argued election officials were required to remove voters from the rolls 30 days after sending the letters if they hadn't heard from them. 234,000 voters purged from Wisconsin, a key state, on the assumption that they've moved. Yeah. The worry is Russia. The threat is Russia. 2 critical states. You got quote-unquote computer glitches, and you have judges. I haven't looked, but I'd be interested to see if that's a Republican judge. They're just removing people who didn't respond to mail. I got news for you. I think Donald Trump won Wisconsin by 30,000 votes. think it was 30,000 votes. Somebody checked me on that, but I think it was 30,000 votes. Well, 234,000 could make a huge difference. None of this is being discussed anywhere. CNN, MSNBC. And by the way, if you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, if you want to say computer glitches, whatever, fine. Well, should bureaucratic incompetence become a hassle to the voters? We are the richest country in the world. Everybody loves Jeff Bezos. All these media people, patron saint Jeff Bezos. We have the best technology in the world. Shouldn't this be fixed? That, immediately? You're going to then pass it off that these people need to send in a vote by mail ballot, which I got news for you. You know how many times they told voters in New York who were purged, oh yeah, just do a affidavit ballot, it will count. And then they threw out the affidavit ballots. I'm not saying lose hope. I'm not saying don't go out and vote. But this is part of the day-to-day cheating that goes on. And because the media doesn't cover, they continue to allow it. Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.